it's going to go live on your channel. You can just change the name of it.
It is going to go live on my channel, the same stream key?
Yeah, it should do. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Glitch in the Matrix. Zoom upgraded their software without me even trying to do it on my other computer. And then it kicked me out because I was a host on the other computer.
All right. I don't think my stream key, though, is activated. You have to I think you have to reinstall the stream key. Let me just...
I was saying that. I don't know if anybody's mentioned it in the last 5 minutes.
I think it's what you said, Phil.
But Alan Steinfeld has a new book out.
Don't say that. Okay, thank you.
Making Contact.
No.
The New Realities of Extraterrestrial I don't know if anybody's mentioned that in the last 5 minutes.
Well, it has been a bestseller. Wrap up.
Phil, you did very good. I like your presentation, what I heard of it.
Thank you very much.
You had an encyclopedic overview.
It's great seeing the three of you together.
Thank you.
And Phil, are you broadcasting or online from Singapore?
Yes, I am.
Wait, Neil, restart the stream key. Reinstate this restream because it's not streaming right now.
Okay, let me take a look real quick.
All right. But anyway, Phil, what's your next move? Oh, there's the book. Wait, hold that. Is this what you're talking about, Phil?
Yes, that is Making Contact. I don't know if anybody's mentioned it in the last 3 minutes, but Alan Steinfeld has a new book.
Have you read
International bestseller.
Have you
read it?
I
keep the Book of Knowledge, the Keys of Enoch, and Making Contact within arm's length.
I don't think you have Making Contact. I don't think you have.
Yes, I read it on Kindle.
You did? Okay. What did you think
of
my chapter? Did I mention you?
No, I was conspicuous by my absence in that book, if you want to know the truth.
Okay. I didn't mention you like when you were moving out and got married and doing all that stuff.
No, you didn't mention the fact that you still have my futon in your apartment. Hello.
He took my
futon. He took his couch.
Anyway, yeah.
No, and it's great seeing you. You know, I was pondering today.
Yes.
The atomic bomb, you need uranium and plutonium for that fission process. Hydrogen bomb is more fusion, nuclear fusion. And that's just 2 nuclei of light atoms merging together, fusing together. We have 427 trillion cells. We are individually so powerful. Just think what collectively the power that we have in relation to the power we have individually. It's unspeakable. The power that we have, the power for change, the power to do good, the power to do right.
That's why we have this mandala behind us. It shows the opening of our spiritual eye, or what some would call the third eye, to see and evaluate life on all of its different levels. You know, I have with me this afternoon one of my colleagues who studied with Dr. Franklin at Ohio State years ago. Kent State, excuse me. And he was with the Stanford Research Institute scientists that I knew back in the 70s. And, you know, I have been involved in this for 48 years, but I see through people like Ellen Steinfeld here, a rapid movement towards resolution. We've finally been talking abstractly, but now we can talk with concrete evidence.
And Barbara Marx Hubbard now calls all of us the new norm because people are really talking about this. I mean, someone was mentioning, I think yesterday, the UFO panel, that even in the midst of a sports announcement, the guy goes about UFOs. I mean, you know, it's a normal situation that people talk about UFOs.
Oh, yeah. Someone said in the sport ESPN, was this on the UFO panel?
Yeah, I think it was.
They said, what was the most interesting thing about 2020? And he said, on this football game, the government coming out with the fact that UFOs are real. That's to a whole different demographics than anyone we might ever talk to, perhaps, except my brothers who are home watching.
So we have many years of research we're willing to release now that people are prepared.
Well, we're excited that hopefully the government will release something. That's really...
And we're waiting to see what's going to happen this summer, if indeed the big picture is presented properly, or we just have little episodes of technology that don't mean much, except unless you are a great scientists and can see between the spaces. But we need what I call a brave new mind to bring it all together. This is Neil's work. Neil has been in the driver's seat. He's brought good people together. And I think Omar is joining us, and Joan should join us, and Brendan should join us. So I want to simply say, in
It's been a pleasure being
the sessions
on
that
this
we share
weekend.
with you, this is only the tip of an iceberg. We have a great new film. It's been around, but it's in a new format. It's called The Temple of Mu. It deals about the civilization under the ocean off Japan and Taiwan. You can buy it very inexpensively through our website. More to the point, it covers the fact that there was once a super civilization in the Pacific that sunk, just like the Atlantis civilization in the other part of the world.
And what did we learn from that?
Well, that's the big question.
The ancients,
the big
the
answer.
ancients were experimenting with things that were far beyond their capabilities, and that's why there was a meltdown. And we are
And so
taking
many other revelations.
Yeah.
You brought that out years before mainstream media got onto it, before it's released publicly. You released that information, like a lot of amazing revelatory information. The Keys of Enoch and other.
Phil is
You
a
brought that
student
out.
of the keys.
Yeah.
That was sort of your awakening, wasn't it, Phil? Looking at the keys of Enoch?
Absolutely. That
And
did it for me.
Just want to say,
That propelled me.
a science that they now have a way of taking crystalline particles and pressurizing them, and they're getting the magnetic fields to shift from the electro field, so they're breaking apart the electromagnetic energy. And to me, that's using crystals, that's very close to, I think, what Atlantis did. So we're really at that verge, which is why it's important that we hear things like we heard this weekend, because we all have a choice to make in terms of technology, in terms of the way we work together and live together and be together. And we have to choose that more collective, harmonious balance. And that's what I think also came out very strongly this weekend on the individual level, the collective level.
We don't want to go from Atlantis 1 to Atlantis 2. We want to go from Atlantis to super civilization.
Yes.
And
I
to
agree.
the beings that want to start making contact. Where's that book? Want to start making contact.
It's like a drinking game. Every time you say making contact.
Yeah, you take a shot. Or you read a chapter.
You read it. Yeah, read a chapter.
Anyway.
Well, I'd like to say what you had said about, the other event, a lot of information. And then right now we feel like there's more cohesion and coming together. I feel a lot of us have had that experience where we want to be together now, right? Even in person and connect and all that. But at the same time, we've witnessed the division just go rampant, really, the last few years. And the intention for this event, and I said it yesterday at the end of the event, is it doesn't matter what your beliefs are, what your upbringing is, what your background is, what your ideology is, what your political beliefs are. We still are all part of this human race and this family, and connected to the galactic family as well. And that's what this event represents and will continue to represent twice a year. Actually every event really represents that for us, like creating unity in a world where we may perceive so much division. But this event right here is the signature unity event for Portal to Ascension. It's about all of us just coming together to share information and awareness and explore it together. We're all researchers here. Everybody, even the people watching and tuning into this, we're all researching not only our consciousness, but our history, where we came from, who we are. And I feel that we definitely cultivated this energy. And I just want to second what you said about just that you feel that more unity consciousness here is because people are ready more than ever to really come together, I feel, especially the ones that have found themselves being part of this event.
I also want to say I interviewed Sergio Magana recently. He's a keeper of the Toltec secrets. He wrote a new book about the Toltec prophecies. He said the eclipse that's happening on May 26th, the lunar eclipse, is the beginning of the sixth sun. It really cements in. This is I should have said this on the ancient civilization, because the ancients knew that eclipses mark epochs of time. So this particular lunar eclipse is the it's kind of the final phase of the sixth sun, which is the sun of the night, the sun of the Nahual.
Love it.
Coming in the sun of the energy as opposed to matter, that's now solidifying its presence within consciousness. I think the sun dictates consciousness. So that's why all the beings in this solar system function on a certain level of consciousness. But if you meet a being from another star, it's a slightly different frequency. So the sun sets the caliber of frequencies for the intelligent conscious beings in their particular neighborhood. So what's happening, though, is the sun is changing its frequencies in relationship to the earth. I mean, the sun's always changing, but our polarity of experience, our polarity of consciousness is being upgraded to understand more energy as opposed to matter. And this is what the upcoming eclipse, which is not always great to be outside during the eclipse. They say that kind of sucks your energy out of you. But it's nice just to know that the frequency is changing in this, like, kind of, it's like a gear shift. You know, the gears go down and you put your foot on whatever it is, and then you go into another, you put your foot on the clutch and then you shift. This is the shift that's happening into this next epoch. That's what
exactly.
You know, to add to what Neil was saying with the division, right? There's a lot of division happening right now, but we have to look at it in a positive perception more so than negative, because we have to realize that when there's division happening, and within that, unity is being cultivated. So, maybe we're spreading apart from other ideas, but from that chaos, right, there's more, there's order being created by cultivating unity amongst, smaller groups, and then those smaller groups come together. So division, I suppose, sometimes is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, it gives us the contrast, the duality,
That's right. Yeah.
That's the whole thing with this planet of amnesia, is the way that we completely have remembrance of who we are is by going through the duality and having the contrast of what we are truly everything, but what we want to move toward, what we want to move toward, right? So we've had this experience of duality, we've had experience of darkness, and now we know what we want to create, which is the light. Right.
We're creating our own golden yuga within the cycle.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we're going to do close out pretty soon. Do we want to go around one more time and just share a little download real quick? Let's start with you guys over there in Sedona.
Go ahead, Desiree.
Well, we feel that really things are changing where we are in Sedona, as you just said. People are flocking here because there's such an opening that they're feeling. And when they come here, it used to kind of kick people out because the energy was so strong, but now people are ready. They're really ready, and they're ready for what you present, Portal to Ascension. They're ready for the information, and they're really opening. We feel the veils between this reality and the next reality are getting thinner and thinner, and the information is coming forth. So thank you for being part of that information. We'll say channel, I hate to use that word, but vehicle of bringing information to planet Earth. So thank you, Neil. Thank you, Portal of Ascension, and all you that worked as moderators to bring this together.
And I could speak on behalf of our Academy for Future Science, Science Guided by Consciousness, here in Sedona, but also throughout the world, that we've been pushing the envelope, and we feel very major changes around the corner, and we must have positive thinking and consciousness. I like what all of you have said. I like what Omar represents. I like what Phil Gruber has brought together with encyclopedic knowledge on so many different levels. We need a roadmap, but we need music and heartbeats of love to go with that roadmap. Information is not sufficient without consciousness and without higher love. And so that would be my little contribution. At the end of the road, we're going to have a great celebration with brothers and sisters like us from the other worlds.
Right. And I'm always surprised with what Brandon comes out, because Brandon, I don't know how old you are, but I thought you were a lot younger. Then you open your mouth and it's like, wow, he's probably not as young as I thought he was. So I always appreciate that.
Yeah, we support you, Brandon, also. We like what you're saying.
Right. But for me, Neil, I think this is like laying the groundwork for everyone's been listening, the 2,000 people online on Zoom, for what is coming. It's like this has been an education for me and for everyone, actually the Hertogs, and they've been around a long time. And they feel like there's been energy that's been added to their wealth of knowledge.
That's awesome.
And to mine. So you've laid the groundwork for what we are at the threshold of a new time. I keep saying that, but it's almost palpable. And yeah, people are leaving the cities. They're flocking to Sedona. There's like we've waited 75 years for maybe a little more information that the government is going to be releasing. I've just sent my book to Marco Rubio to help maybe
Interesting.
kind of give him a little manual for the history that Elizondo and all those have just thrown under the bus. They say, oh yeah, the Nimitz 2004. There's not only 75 years of history before, there's thousands of years of history of interaction with these other beings.
And the Keys of Enoch mentioned 2004, 48 years ago.
But it's before 2000.
So it's right on target.
Right. It's the start. But anyway, everything else that you've done here, the Ascension panel, the Ancient Civilization panel, everything that comes out of Phil Gruber's mouth, and including the saliva, is holy. Right, Phil?
Alan's hair, Alan's hair is like the silky diaphanous veils of gossamer
Well, I love your mustache.
gossamer tessellations.
It looks good on
We
you.
we are droplets of love, wisdom, and compassion falling into a sea of glass in synchronized timelessness. We are the breath of Taranga. We are shimmering grace. We come from a divine blueprint. And in moments of grace, we remember. So I think the Portal to Ascension and all the work we're doing is helping us to remember. Right. As Rudolf Steiner says, in moments of grace, we remember. Remember with us now.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to conclude by saying that thank you, Neil. I think this is important. I know in a way you don't even know why you do these things. You're just compelled to do them. And that's the best reason, that passion. And it's not about why. We are all agents of a greater consciousness, because we're not doing it for ourselves. I know I mentioned my book a lot, Phil, but it's not for me. It's for the public. So it's a bigger story going on here. And like, we're just these little pieces. And everyone in the chat, everyone listening, everyone online, they are just as much a part of this, because they're gaining momentum, because everything we hear here, everything people in the chat here, they bring it out to their community, no matter where they are around the world. And that's how knowledge spreads.
Definitely. Thank you, brother. Okay. Brendan, do you want to?
We want to thank Omar also. And
no, go ahead, JJ. Go ahead with your thanks.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, JJ. Brendan, do you want to share some words?
Yeah. Short and quick. Yeah. Just a huge gratitude to everybody all around. And again, I think with the age that we're in right now, one of the things that I kind of use as a metaphor to kind of remind myself of the hope that's on the horizon, but not even on the horizon, the hope that's already here. I think back to the science of cymatics. And that time when, so cymatics, you got the soundboard, you pour some salt on it, and you kind of turn up the octave, and then it kind of creates this beautiful symmetrical geometrical shape pattern. Most people here are familiar with cymatics, but then there's that process where when you're turning things up from one octave to the next, what happens, right? It kind of goes, it gets all messed up, right? It's kind of half between everything. That's kind of where we are right now. And then by the time we're in 2025, that's when that next octave is really going to kind of sink in, and then it's going to be and then it's just going to kind of create this new pattern that's going to emerge, right? So I think we carry the frequency of that tone. We carry the frequency of that octave. And so when you realize this, again, I keep going back to this idea. It's you are the portal to ascension. That's a very literal thing, because what I mean by that is also this idea that we are the carriers of this frequency, right? So for anybody who's tuned in for this weekend and has been here for a part of this conference, and maybe you've only been here for a little bit, again, simply by you being here, you are invited to be an ambassador of this frequency, right? So you carry it with you. It doesn't end just where Neil hits the stop button and we all walk away from this, right? You have taken part in something. You have experienced something that we hope has activated something inside of you, has activated a calling. And with that, again, it's this idea that all you have to do is be your authentic self, and your authentic self, as you connect back to the wisdom of the heart, will naturally kind of like lead you into these moments of synchronicity where you'll find yourself having conversations, and you'll be the portal to ascension for someone else. And you'll be like, whoa, this is really interesting. Tell me more about it. And like, it's great when we can do these big broadcasts and they reach, you know, thousands and thousands of people, but it's always going to be those individual one-to-one moments that will change the world. Right. So like from here, and a lot of what everyone else has already been talking about, like the practicality of this is for each and every single one of us to continue to do the work that will lead us back to the wisdom of our heart. And when we come back to the wisdom of the heart, like everything else will just kind of like naturally like unfold out of that. So as much as we're looking to kind of like spread this wisdom out, let's keep balancing that with just kind of like bringing it back to the heart. And let's keep having more events like these where we really celebrate each other, and we really create, again, these intentional sacred spaces where we're really bring ourselves back to the inspiration of this story that we are creating. And this story that we are creating, as we've kind of heard from this weekend, is really this story of this group of souls that have volunteered to be here in order to forget, in order to remember, to help others remember, right? And then it's like, what's happening here is so special. And I think we're almost so like in it that we're kind of like I know we know it's special, but I think it's going to be one of those things where we'll look back on this in like 5 years and we'll be like these moments, like these were the moments when, you know, like we were really kind of like setting the precipice for what was going to come. And we're living in that sci-fi movie right now. Like the movies that we grew up watching, like we're literally in them right now. It's not science fiction, it's science reality. So again, you know, from everybody here, I think just know that all of the wisdom that we've talked about is just a mirror for you to be able to help see what's already inside yourself. And the age that we are moving into, you're seeing this within like a lot of the world right now. We're shifting from kind of like the age of, we're shifting into a new age of sovereignty, where people who once kind of like look to external sources for governance now are looking inwards for sovereignty, for their own form of self-governance. And at the same time, you know, like I think we also have to understand that even in the world that we're in, there will always be the yin and the yang. And I think we will continue to see this, where there will be those who will continue to fall deeper asleep. But equally much, there will be those who will continue to awaken. And it's okay. We kind of have to kind of like understand that this is in itself going to be a part of the process. And so that's where, again, you know, we can either kind of like fight against kind of like the agents and the matrix kind of like getting its grip on us, or we can acknowledge that the matrix, the matriarch, the matrix being the womb, is actually birthing us into a new state of being. And again, to be able to kind of like move into that new direction where we're moving into, we're talking about like sovereign communities. We're talking about like intergalactic like civilizations and relations. We're talking about like ancient lineages kind of like re-merging in modern day time. And a big part of the future is going to be like, it's going to be like sovereign communities. And this is what this is. Like, this is practice for what's still to come. So let's take this practice, let's embody it, let's let this inspiration percolate, let's keep this conversation going, let's change the world with our art, with our kindness, with compassion, and keep having conversations like this. And go tell your friends, talk to them, ask some questions, you know. Like, I think knowing that there's that spark in each and every single one of us really gives us that mission to be able to kind of like go out of our way to be able to, you know, just know that your voice matters, your actions matters, and the synchronicities in the universe are like they're like 100% behind you. So keep putting your art into the world, keep bringing your conversation, keep speaking your voice, keep dancing your dance. And that's where the story continues from here. So Neil, everybody, thank you again, man. Like, huge props to everybody. Like, this is beautiful. So good job,
thank
team.
you, brother. Phil.
I just wanted to mention that Alan's book is available on contact. Wait a minute, on audible.com. Audible.com.
Okay,
and Brendan, I love you, dude. I've met my match.
Ebook and Audible.
Thank you, Bill. Much respect.
Phil, I appreciate you, even though you never come to visit anymore. So that's okay.
I can't make it up the stairs.
It keeps you in shape. All
Thank
right,
you, Phil.
Neil, one more time, what's coming up?
Okay, so new
And
website.
Before you do that, what was some of the highlights for you? I'm just curious this week. If you can.
Definitely the interaction and the communication with people and the sharing of ideas was actually a huge highlight. There was a lot of information. There was a lot of information that was new to me. And I did it in a way where I got people that I knew would probably have information I didn't know. So that was just like all throughout the 4 days, right? So I'm always learning new stuff. So that was impactful. But something specifically was definitely the interaction with everybody, the love that everybody was sharing, the inspiration, watching people react to other people's presentations. That I really loved a lot. And it just inspires me. Like last time we did 5 days, but on the 5th day, I wanted to do a 6th day. You know, that's how much inspiration I had. Today, I'm like, whoa, I wish I had something set up for tomorrow.
No,
but at the same time, I need to sleep. I only got 4 hours of sleep last night.
Perfect.
So
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Omar, I just want to ask you, what stands out? Like, what's they call it a frame? What frame like got imprinted into you, like stood out for?
For me, I would say this entire conference was a seed that really it spread to the thousands of people that attended, and they're going to take some of this information to their dinner tables, and they're going to talk about it at home, at their work, and wherever else with their friends. And for me, that really is the highlight of it all through all the conversations that were happening. For me, it's just another seed of consciousness, as Michael Tallinger would say, and it's just going to bloom, and then hopefully we will have no issues in getting into this next form that we're headed into. I would just have to say that I think we're going back to our roots, to where we are going into service to the whole instead of service to the self, and I think that is a good thing.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you, Omar. Thanks, Neil. Okay,
it's the beginning of our journey it's the beginning of a beautiful journey that's going to unfold.
Yeah,
So
we're
many
just
amazing
planting seeds right now, and those seeds are going to bloom into a beautiful forest.
So, all right. So I feel we're all done with our closing statements here, but I was going to bring on whoever else is left in the room. We had 75 people before we got disconnected, but now we have 24.
Oh, let's
so
bring them all on.
I'm going to go ahead and bring everybody on.
Everyone in the pool, okay? Everyone.
You do not have
I got
to
to head
start.
out, team. I got to head out. I'm going to go do some CE5. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll try
love
to
you,
tune
man.
in.
Hey, Brandon, where are you located, Brandon?
Canada, Ontario. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice, Brandon. I'm from Ontario too.
Dude, awesome,
from
man.
Belleville.
We'll stay
I'm
connected.
from Belleville, moved to BC.
There we go. So cool.
Nice seeing you, Brandon. We'll check you next time, buddy.
Thanks
Take
again,
care, brother.
Have a wonderful night, and thank you again, Neil.
All right, so I'm inviting everybody
camera.
on. You do not have to start your camera if you don't want to, but let's go ahead and bring everyone on. Say hi. Maybe we'll let a couple of people talk and maybe give some feedback, and then I actually did a spoken word piece with piano in the background called The Sixth Sun. So I'm going to play it, and we'll have it since the Sixth Sun energy is going on right now. And we'll close out with that.
The eclipse coming up will be the Sixth Sun energy in play. So anyone have any comments about what they heard today? JJ, do you want to say something?
No, I just think this is a very special time to expand the networking that we're doing together. From a positive viewpoint, the world needs to make this shift because we know what the options are. Talking to some of my ex-colleagues who are geologists, oceanographers, environmental scientists, they are not that positive because they don't see the big picture.
There's my friend Leanne, who let her hair down. Thank you, Leanne. And does your African gray have anything to say, Leanne?
She just said, hi, and meow. So I don't know.
All right.
Oh, the other one's going nuts. Oh, she just said bonjour.
At least we have some intelligent conversation going on.
Hey, everybody. So if you guys want to share anything, whoever's coming on camera right now, Leanne, I know you have something to say.
Oh, thank you, Bob Lipman.
I don't have anything to say. I never have anything to say.
I want to hear what Bob Lipman has to say. Bob, thanks for getting the book. I appreciate it. Anything interesting to share? I like your contact in the desert shirt.
You have to unmute.
You're muted, Bob.
Unmute. That's part of not being in the chat room. Unmute.
Lower left side.
Yeah, unmute if you can. But thanks for holding up. Oh, Bob, go ahead.
There we go.
Bob.
Yeah, all looking forward to the unity of being back together in the Mojave under the stars and the orbs and making contact. And we're all evolving. This is an amazing time and the most opportune time, regardless of what the mainstream narrative will try to throw out there in front of us.
Yeah. No, and thanks for getting the book, and I love your shirt and contact. Yeah. Thanks, and great to see you. What stood out for you this weekend?
Well, I'm up here in the other Red Rocks, up in Castle Valley, Utah, upstream from Sedona, and pretty much immersed in contact in the desert right here.
Wow. Are you making a lot of contact?
We have our portal is open here.
Are you seeing a lot of ships out there in Nevada?
For a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, it's happening here too.
Utah,
Wait, is there a particular place that you recommend going up there in Nevada?
It's in Utah.
Oh, Utah.
I mean, yeah, up on the Colorado River in the Utah Red Rocks.
Oh.
Absolutely. In the Canyonlands and Arches, many of the portals that were used by the ancient Puebloan culture. Roads from Chaco Canyon converge here. We're part of the grid. We're pretty much on the same latitude as Giza Plateau right here. Also.
Oh,
nice.
Great. Thanks.
Nice to see you, Bob.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen your face before.
It's nice.
Thank you for being here, brother.
Thanks for keeping the portal open.
And
for sure.
Crystal Aim.
Anybody else want to share?
What about Crystal? You look very colorful there.
Hi. Thank you for your honesty. I really appreciate everybody speaking from the heart. And it's great to find people you can really speak to about these matters. I don't have anyone in my community.
Where are you? What community are you in?
I'm outside San Francisco, but it's very conservative area.
Oh, right.
So can't wait for Contact in the Desert.
Yes, it's really going to be a good one this year. Exactly. Well, thank you for joining in today.
Appreciate you, Crystal.
This is a big party. What's Sozi and Wally? I think I've talked to you guys. You've been on before, Sozi and Wally, right?
We're part of your community, Crystal.
You have to unmute yourself.
Unmute, so Susie.
It's Susie, yeah. And yeah, hey, is Contact in the Desert going to be physical or just virtual?
Just virtual, but it's 4 days of good virtuality. So
well, I still need hugs. So one of these days we get together again.
Where are you based? Where are you located?
We're right on the Colorado River in Bullhead City, right across from Laughlin. We came down here so that we could be part of the Contact in the Desert and the thing at Laughlin, the community there.
Oh yeah, in June, MegaCon. Is that coming up this June? Are you going to be there in June?
I think they're pushing it till November.
Oh really? Did they cancel?
That's a different one. That's you're talking about Star Wars, Paula Harris's one, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There's a newer one.
There's one in Laughlin coming up though in early June. It's what's that called?
UFO MegaCon.
MegaCon.
Okay, I'll look it up.
I was thinking of going there.
And just to give a plug, I think Neil Gar is going to be doing something in 2022, right? Out in the desert hot
Miracle
springs.
Hot Springs, where we
good.
Hot springs and consciousness.
Good. Well, this conference was so magnificent. I made it to every single one of you, except this. I had to play music this morning, so I missed the first one, but I'll catch up on it. But I love you all so much. I'm so grateful for this. Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
Love the bird.
Nice to see you.
Love the bird. I'm an absolute huge bird lover and just love seeing that guy sitting on your shoulder. Beautiful.
Okay.
Well, if you come to New York, then come see me. You can feed the bird a peanut and
right on.
Get her to meow for you.
You both have birds on your shoulders. That's strange. Where's my bird? No.
Anybody else want to share?
Well, Neil, I just want to
say, Crystal, I'm in the Bay Area, so hopefully we can meet. But yeah, I enjoyed the whole conference. I missed some hours of it, so I'm gonna go check it out on replay. but I listened to everyone and I enjoyed what most had to say. My thing is with vibrations, and I would like to practice that more and increase my vibrations with singing. And so I know a lot of people have talked about the musical notes with the pillars and other things. So I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
And hello, Hertox.
Do you know them? Do you know her?
Actually,
Yes, they know me.
Okay.
Tam
They know you
Allah.
from the Bay Area.
Pamela.
Oh, Tamala.
Tamala.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Tamala.
I just space it out, so hopefully people say it correctly.
Okay, yeah.
For those
But
of you
thank
who
you so
don't,
much, Neil. This was
these are the pillars of light
My
that came
pleasure.
down in the pyramid when we used higher
I
vibrations.
enjoyed. I met you last year. Well, I was introduced to you last year.
Oh yeah, in person?
Which was that one? No. Through this, and
Okay.
I'm so happy that I did, because I enjoyed everything you do and
Thank you
learning
so
from.
much.
So this has been helpful, and yeah, thank you.
And Tamala, you may be coming out to visit Sedona as well, right?
Yes, in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
JJ, you were going to share something. You were about to show something.
No, I was saying she was referring to the pillars of light that we activate in sacred areas, such as the use of the sacred names of God, and some instances where the energy becomes so powerful, light appears inside the sacred chambers of pyramids or temples, like I'm demonstrating right here. That's been measured by top musicologists and engineers. So we know there's something in terms of a new energy frequency that we can use to build our light bodies and to prepare for higher consciousness experiences. So we thank all of you for sharing with us, and we wish you well until the next time we engage.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Thanks, Neil. Any final?
Anybody else? Anybody else want to go? I know Leanne wants to share a download, but before you go, Leanne, does anybody else want to say anything?
And then after Leanne, are you going to do a little wrap up?
Yeah. So I'm going to do a poem. That's two poems combined. One's called the Nine Hells, and then it ends with the the sixth sun. It's a journey through the nine hells into the sixth sun, and I think that's perfectly in alignment with the energy of right now. So if anybody else doesn't want to share, Leanne, it's all yours.
All righty. Well, these folds.
Put it on speaker. Yes. Thank you.
Ureta te chiare ne de tuj, te chiar. Neia na na kwaka katawar. Te chiura na ta chiare na na tu te chiar. Isha te kawar ne na tu roria ne kawar. Te cuor e na weia e to qua e tij quaia e Shonoko kwayana te ta a te la te ta kwa a te wo e ta re a te ka kia ka a te wa e jane a kie a terra e ta wagara e ta adora na ayate e lai e na ulohima ke chiare na cuor e ya e tuar e quash te yar.
Thank you, Leanne. All right, everybody. Love you all so much. I'm just going to do this poem. And then the last one is going to be the song. The last paragraph is actually going to be a recorded song. And this is The Sixth Sun. Love you all. Had so much fun with all of you for the last 4 days. It's just so awesome. I just love doing this work. And we just have more and more in store. Like, it's just exponential at this point. What we're going to create as the team keeps growing, the bigger events we can create, the more we can do. So I'm excited for what's to come. Enter the maze, the abyss, where misery sits. The inferno that is too hot to sit, yet alone take a stand. This is the land that you will forever be in. Doesn't really exist in the realm of men and women. Souls come down to explore this world, but you are renowned in the depths of this place, where the gods send humans who waste their life, disgrace their time on this 3D line. Down we fall to the underworld. But my question is, can we fall anymore? We were angels who dropped, tripped, and fell into earth. We are volunteers, not celestial beings who are cursed. What is the worst thing that can happen with so much chaos and lyricists rapping, expressing themselves through flows? Until you enter the first hell entitled limbo, where the unbaptized and pagans go, I guess I will enter this realm, because I know there was once more. Until humanity decided to worship the sun, many gods with a lowercase g. Their words were empty, but provided technology that has been lost to times, until revelations transforms the central mind. The sixth son, the sixth son, the sixth son. Enter the realm of lust, stuck, no balance. Patriarchy has done its damage, over-sexualizing, controlling minds, but I managed to break free every now and then until they catch up with me with science, entertainment, and media we can't trust. This fiending, can we adjust from a millennia of rust, wipe off the dust as we raise our cups to the highest of levels? We had various forms of devils, personified energy combined with heavy metals will shift your brain as we enter the next two planes of existence. Gluttony and greed are hells that are persistent. I will remove all the items from my wish list. To this personal hell, I am resistant. So you see, many are coexisting with demons that are misfits as we shift our intentions and belief systems around what is our mission. On this third planet, we are stranded. One day, this illusion will straight up vanish. The greed is the fourth cycle in this inferno, where humans fight for money and valuables. The I am presence knows the grand design is intellectual. The sixth son, the sixth son, the sixth son. Anger can consume you. Enter the tomb. Your tombstone will join the other souls. You could go that could not move on past grudges that last multiple lifetimes, running too fast, foot on the gas, exploding and erupting, spreading lava all over the place. Move up to the circle of heresy, where heretics spend eternity, dubbed to be blasphemy, ashes and scorched fire. Those that have been wired to believe what is commonly accepted and retire organized religion. With an alternative vision of a personal hell that will diminish, this life is finished, made in his image, but dismissed by God into the 7th and 8th, encompassed with violence and fraud. If you feel these flows, give your head a nod, ground into the earth with a copper rod. Conscious awareness will never be outlawed. I applaud the ways you move through this maze, and at the end of the light, seeing the end of the day, climbing up the hierarchy into the 9th hell of treachery, the last aspect of duality needed before the extrasensory gifts come online. DNA strands activate in the vibration inside. Each one of us will rise as life moves from struggle to joy and fun. And we enter the sixth sun. The sixth sun is risen, is now in the sixth world, spread for years by our human peers. The sixth sun is risen, we're now in the sixth world, spread for years by our human peers. The sixth sun is risen, we're now in the sixth world, spread for years by our human peers. The sixth sun. The sixth sun has risen, we are now in the sixth world. Passed down for years by our human peers through oral tradition, information about our collective mission, what a new reality would envision. Spoken through Toltec and Aztec wisdom, we discuss and perceive larger cycles of time than even the Maya depicted. It was known that we're in a transition that started in 1991. As we began the move from the fifth to the sixth sun, what are we waiting for? What have we waited for? These wars will stop. The sunspots increase in diameter and frequency. As the frequency of planetary bodies shifts and changes, so does the neural networks within your brains, kids, adults, animals, family. We have been blinded, you see, to the vibratory energy that a universe breathes. In the last of the 9 hells, exiting Nessus, humans unable to think for themselves, we are at a nexus point. A decision shall anoint the sun god I point out is the Son of God, that resurrects and reflects over water, including the second ocean, known as space, where the cosmic rays during this transitory phase will encase and wash over the solar system. And in the skies, we may see both stars becoming one. As we enter the sixth sun. The sixth sun has risen, we are now in the sixth world, spread for years by our human peers. The sixth sun has risen, we're now in the sixth world, spread for years by our human peers. The sixth sun has risen. We are now in the sixth world, spread for years by human peers.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Neil.
Thank you all.
The sixth sun has risen. You should definitely
Fantastic.
get Sergio Magana on the program. He could talk all about the sixth sun. So
We should.
thank you.
Love you all so much. Thank you, everybody. The replay will be out. It's available immediately on YouTube, so check it back. But see you guys soon. Thank you for being
See
here.
everybody's face, including yours, Phil.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Phil.
Oh, that's great.
Bye, everybody.